the stuff he says is just
he's hilarious.
one by one, play a few of them. Here's one of them. Well, go ahead, Rob.
Over the last week, I have, when we talk about funny or sad, I think it's more sad than funny.
Yeah.
He has one ability I don't have.
Yeah.
He sleeps. He can sleep. This guy goes on a beach and he lays down on one of those, 6 ounce, they weigh 6 ounces and he can't lift it. They're meant for children.
Yeah.
Young people and old people to lift.
Yeah.
They're aluminum, hollowed aluminum.
Yeah.
They weigh very little. And he can't lift. And somebody convinced him he looks good in a bathing suit. And when you're 82, typically bathing suits aren't going to make you look great. You're not going to be enhanced. Yeah. All right? It's just one of those things. I can't be sure about that, but typically you don't.
Depends what he's packing. He could.
I don't know what the hell he's packing, but I don't want to. And I don't want to know either. I don't know. But he has an ability to fall asleep while on camera. He can lie down on one of those things, and in minutes, he's stone cold out.
How does he do it?
And he's got cameras because he's the president, so they have cameras on him.
Yeah.
And then they show him sleeping on the beach.
Yeah.
You'll never see me sleeping in front of the camera.
But wait, he's with comedians and he's hanging and he's making them die. By the way, you know this. That's not easy. To make them laugh, and he goes, "Oh my God!" He goes, "You'll never see me."
Just
sleeping.
picture any other candidate on something like this.
Never.
Just picture.
They would. Hold on, Kamala on this, they would destroy
And they
her.
were asking him questions as if he was one of the boys. So it's like, is Elon Musk your favorite African American? He's like, what a guy.
Yeah.
They said, he goes, you have the ability to tell these stories and come back. He's like, I call it the weave. The weave. Some people think I'm going off topic. It's the weave. I'm going to come back.
Rob, go ahead
I
and
could
play.
go all the way there. Come right back.
Go ahead, Rob. Which one is
Whole
this?
new, different way of
Can I ask you a question
getting the word out, right?
about Elon specifically? Is he your favorite African American?
Go right into
He's
it.
a piece of work. I'll tell you. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's obviously a brilliant guy.
Yeah.
When I saw the rocket engines come back, I said, what is that? Like a couple of years ago, I've seen rockets go up and then they crash into the water.
Yeah.
And I see the engines are coming back and they're landing.
It's unbelievable.
They're landing and they land on a raft in the middle of the ocean someplace with a little dot and they land right on the top of the spot.
And my wife can't parallel park.
I know.
A lot of people can't.
Most people can't. But no, he's great. But he's got a great heart. He was with me, as you know, on the other night.
Yeah.
And we were honoring a man who got killed at a rally, Corey, firefighter, great guy. And it was a beautiful evening. But Elon went out and he loved the crowd. He loves the country.
Yeah.
And he's picked a side. A lot of people don't want to pick a side. I have a lot of people that
That's
are
a very good point.
big supporters of me.
Yeah.
But they won't go all out. They can't.
They're scared.
Quite.
There's a
They're
cost.
scared. Yeah. There's a cost.
Yeah.
There is a cost, but there's also a liability. Some people, I respect it a lot when this guy was up there doing jumping jacks. You got to vote for Trump. You got to vote.
He was jumping high.
He was jumping high.
Looked quite African.
Did you see the part when he started? It's great. Did you see the part when he started getting into the nicknames?
And you just had to go because he's African American.
You see the part when he's getting into the nicknames? Tampon Tim. It's not easy to say. Comrade Kamala. It has to bazoom, get out of your mouth. He made those guys crack up. Do you see the part when he said about truthful? I'm basically a truthful person. They're like, what do you mean basically? Which is, it's actually so telling because he's basically like saying, I'm basically truthful.
Yeah.
That's him being basically truthful live on air.
I do a lot. But I always refer him back to the simplicity of McDonald's. She lied about McDonald's. She lied about many things. And she's a liar. There should be some kind of a rule when they know it's a lie, you can't do a commercial on it. But this is a thing that's going to end in 29 days so they can say what they want. I have a hard time doing it to them because I'm basically a truthful person, but frankly, she's given me so much ammunition. I don't really have to. She's a radical left lunatic who will destroy our.
She's a communist, and he goes, "She's a communist." You know that she's a communist.
It's hard to say.
You know what I thought was really interesting is you listen to the tone of the voice in President Trump, and you listen to the style which he was delivering. We're used to seeing him behind the podium, and now with bulletproof glass, thank God,
Adam, turn it off.
and
Go
fully
ahead.
protected.
Adam, so unprofessional.
And we're used to seeing him that like in full campaign mode in front of the crowd. You know, there's a style to that and there's a message to that because you're giving a speech and the people have come far and wide to Butler, Pennsylvania to be there for that speech. And then when he sits down right there, I was looking at it, you know what I was thinking? You know what? He is saying what most Americans are already thinking about the campaign. And I think that people were finding identity in that. And we're finding alignment with that, saying, you know what? He's saying what I was just thinking about her. That's right. When she does these commercials, I am thinking that. I am thinking that. And when he's like, boy, and I was thinking that about Joe Biden. He's sleeping on the beach. Why are we taking pictures of our president sleeping on the beach? Even a Democrat, and I've talked to a couple of them, what do you think of all the camera stuff and on the beach and the number of times he's at the beach? And he said, I don't know whose idea this is, but they shouldn't. Why is he putting himself out there to be criticized? Oh, here he's on the beach again, completely knocked out. And here's Trump saying that. That's exactly what people are thinking. I spoke to a Democrat that was thinking exactly that. So I think there was a whole other side that was seen here. And I would have liked to seen him maybe, you're not just joking around, but also talking about policies, because his economic plan has got things in there for the entrepreneur. It's got things in there people want to hear. But I thought it was a whole nother side of him, kind of, lowering the tone a little bit. Yeah. And I thought it was very human. And I think there's a lot of voters looking at that saying, okay.
By the way, you know what it shows me? Here's what it shows me. So we 8 months ago, you'll remember this, well, we ranked everybody with talent at dinner at the house, right? And we were talking about why this guy does so well with podcasts, and why Rogan is the best, and why this guy is this, and why that guy's coming up, and why this guy flatline, and why that guy, nobody cares about him anymore. He's done. He's boring, right? It's done. I don't need to hear from you ever again, and I already know what I'm going to hear from you, right? Why that guy's not a good interviewer, why that guy's not. People like to see how he interviews, but nobody cares about their opinion. Nobody says that person said this. Yep. What does this person think about this, right? So the thing with him, that it's almost if there was no mainstream media, okay, and it was just social media. Take mainstream media out. I just want you to think about this. Put it all in free market, and it's social, independent people. Yeah. People that make money by themselves going and building their stuff, right? If there was nothing else from mainstream media, funded by Big Pharma, funded by all these other guys, right? By the way, it would be a shellacking.
Big time.
Is what it would be.
Great point.
Why though? Because of one thing, what this guy's got. So the level of range he has is unbelievable. He can sit with comedians, tell you stories about the times he broke bread with comedians, and you'll say, wait, you did what with that guy? Yeah, of course. Back in 1979, he can go sit with billionaires. He can go sit with dignitaries. He can go sit with playboys. He can go sit with politicians. He can go sit with business guys. He can go sit with anybody and everybody. Sports. The level of range he has makes him that wide. Like, I'm willing to bet if, let's just say, I don't know if he's going to do it or not. Let's just say Pat McAfee had him on. Okay? You know Pat McAfee?
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet the stuff he talks about with sports would get people that are sports people that have to respond to it.
For sure.
Now, Pat McAfee has to have the brass to do it, and their bosses have to let him do it.
Yeah,
but he would have range. I'm willing to bet if he went and talked to Stephen A. about sports, because if he goes with McAfee, McAfee's only going to talk sports with them. Stephen A. is actually interested in politics. Yeah. There's a difference, right? But you put him anywhere, the level of range he's at, he's an unfair opponent to have. Unfair opponent to have. The only advantage Kamala has, she's raised over $1 billion in money, okay? You're talking about mainstreams behind her, defending of CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, you name them. They all have YouTube. Our podcast was taken on Tuesday. YouTube is saying it's CBS. Was it really? Was it really, or was it the fact that the podcast was on fire? It was our fastest growing podcast coming out that we didn't do on a regular day. It was on fire. Boom. 2 hours later, it's down. Why? Oh, because so she's protected in so many ways. He is not. If you took the protection out that Kamala has, this would be one of those Mike Tyson knockouts, 12 seconds, round one
finish
type of deal. his range is one of a kind.
And you nailed it as you were saying it. I was just with sports because I think he would hang with Pat
course he
McAfee
would.
from the
Of course
history,
he
just
would.
with him with
Oh, yeah.
Don King and boxing and UFC you
fighting.
name it. And then all that stuff that you said, Pat, all that fun, entertaining, and that. Then at the end of the day, he could sit in a room with a Putin, with a Kim Jong-un, and have a dead serious like, yo,
a negotiator.
this is how it's happening.
right.
Oh my God, he's
got
the
range.
he's the GOAT. He's
Or
the GOAT.
hand a terrorist a picture of his house.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think the overall question is that has Kamala peaked? Because we're starting to see the facade sort of break.
The honeymoon's over.
And, yeah, the honeymoon's over, basically. Thanks, Vin.
Yep.
And has Trump peaked, though? I don't know. I think he's got so much range that he could go on different podcasts. Like, I'd love to see Trump go on to something like Call Her Daddy. Go on to the podcast that the women watch. Go on to The View. Because what you're starting to see, did you see that the Teamsters guy went on Theo Vaughn's podcast, talked about the Democratic Party hasn't done anything for us. We're done with these guys over here. But we're starting to see certain situations like black women in Chicago, vote red, vote Trump. We're starting to see Latinos. The number has shrunk from like 20-30% margin to favoring the Democrats to basically tied in some of these polls out here.
Tied.
We're starting
Trump
to
is
see
leading with Hispanics in certain
exactly.
markets.
So we're starting to see people be like, here's the common thing with Trump that I've seen. I've seen this thing because it's happened to me. They say the following, I was never a Trump guy. I was a never Trumper, i.e. J.D. Vance. But over the last 4 to 8 years, I don't know, something's changed, and that's why I'm voting
Adam,
for
that
Trump.
was you.
No, I understand. I think that's a lot of Americans is my point.
But the difference is, but there's one big difference. The big difference is you're willing to say it.
yeah,
A lot of people are not.
correct.
A lot of people are still worried about their careers or what's going to happen, all this other stuff. You forget where we work.
Yeah.
We work in a place. Guys, if you go on VT.com and you go find out about us, the 4 things we stand for as a company, you know what it is? Do you know the 4 things? Entrepreneurship, leadership, capitalism, and what's the
Debate.
last one? Debate.
We love the
Guys, the entire environment, we're debating for nothing. If we're sitting by the bar, we will find the dumbest reason to debate. We like to debate. It makes the environment more exciting, when you're having certain conversations, right? But that's not a safe environment for everybody at every place. Election night, we're putting the biggest party nationwide at a new property we just bought. If you haven't yet bought your tickets, get your tickets and come down. I wish I could tell you all the surprises we got that night. We're going to do grand opening. We're going to do the whole, what do you call it when it's the
shovel?
The shovel with the breaking ground.
Breaking ground.
We're going to reveal and show stuff we've never shown before, especially to some of you guys that want to be super VIPs. To the super VIPs that want to network with other super VIPs. We're going to treat you royally that night, okay? Rob, just play the clip on what's going to be happening on election night for you to come and join us. Play this clip from the new building that we just got a week and a half ago. I'm there every day. Dylan yesterday going 27 miles an hour in his car, having a blast. But go ahead, Rob, play the clip. Okay, I got a big announcement to make, and the good news is you're the first to know, and you'll be the first to be invited. So the property I'm on right now, we've been working on buying this property for the last 3 years. It's one of its last kind in America. Why? It's on 11 acres. It's got 2 hangars. It's on an airport. Upgrades of $7 million made here. That's going to be the new headquarters of Valuetainment Media by David Consulting, the podcast, the whole 9. And what we wanted to do in a special way that you're going to hear about this 2 days before I announce it publicly on the PBD Podcast, we want to find a way to celebrate this as a new headquarters with inviting you to an event on November 5th, which is election night. A lot of different things people will be talking about, business owners. What's going to happen if it goes this way? What's going to happen if it goes that way? So imagine 2,000 people being here. Let me show you around. Some of you will have a private meeting with me. That's the elite. That's going to be a few of you. Some will get a private tour of the entire office from us. There's a hangar in the back. So you come up here. Imagine there's going to be a couple major tents, 40 feet by 100 feet, where some of the people that are buying general tickets will be there. But over here inside the hangar is where the podcast will be held. This entire thing will be open like it is right now. Inside of it, myself, the PBD Podcast crew, some of the super VIPs will be invited to go upstairs in a section that we have that's got a bar, a restaurant, food, kitchen. You're eating, you're watching it from all the way up there while we're doing the podcast down here in the hangar. So imagine in this room, there's 1,000 people, right? While we're going through this whole thing. Conversation, it's going to be from 6 p.m. is when it starts, all the way up to 2 o'clock in the morning. Who knows? Maybe we'll go 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because a lot of things that's going to be going on. And by the way,
Do you know why we're not cutting this? We're on an airport. These are planes. We have to hear because right here is the airport. And FYI, Messi plays right there at that stadium right behind us. So you got 48 hours before I announce this publicly. There's 5 ticket tiers that you can purchase. Each one's got more things to offer. But even locally, there's general tickets to buy for just $75. Bring your wife, bring your husband, bring your family, bring your friends. There's one caveat after you buy the ticket. When you buy the ticket and you come on November 5th, you have to wear Future Looks Bright gear. I'm talking Future Looks Bright hat, a shirt, doesn't matter. You're gonna have to show I got some kind of Future Looks Bright gear because we want everybody here to spread the message and the energy of optimism around the world, back to their states, wherever you're going to be. So November 5th, click on the link above or below, get registered. And if you're watching this saying, well, Pat, I like to travel private. Can I bring my private jet here? 5 of you guys will be after you buy your ticket. Then you can ask us, and that's only available to the tickets at the highest level possible to bring your jet and park it here. So having said that, get your tickets, and I cannot wait to see you November 5th, 6 p.m. at our new headquarters in Fort Lauderdale. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.
It's going to be freaking awesome.
It's gonna
I'm
be
going.
crazy. Yeah.
I'm going.
And by the way, I wish I could say all the guests that are going to be there. I don't want to say it because part of it is also suspense, surprise. But there's going to be you're going to be. What are you doing here? Oh my God, look at this. Let me take a picture with it. It's going to be wild. Bring your family, bring your friends. We're going to have a good time. Anyway, so we are 25 days away from that day. I cannot wait.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.